The honey badger is one of the bravest animals in the world. Some say the honey badger doesn't care. But that reputation isn't fair. In fact, the honey badger, which is considered a member of the weasel family, has super brave attitudes. The honey badger, also known as the ratel, is related to skunks and otters. These rams get their name from its fondness for feeding on honey and honey bee larvae. And the honey badger is known for its amazing courage towards some predators such as lions and poisonous snakes. And many are wondering, what is the reason for the strength of the honey badger? Does he really not care? Here are some facts and things we know for sure, so stay tuned. Habitat of the honey badger. There are 12 subspecies of honey badger species, and they are distinguished according to differences in size and markings. Most of the subspecies are found in sub-Saharan Africa, but some of them are also found outside the Black Continent and are found in Iran and the Arabian Peninsula, as well as we find them from Turkmenistan to the peninsula. The Indian honey badger is also known to prefer heights of up to 2,600 meters, 8,500 feet, above the ground in the Moroccan High Atlas Mountains and even up to 4,000 meters, 13,000 feet, above the ground on the higher Abyssinian. Description of the honey badger. This non-honey badger has a strong little creature with a long, full and flat body, and a very small head with a small mouth. The honey badger also has small eyes and ears that are really hard to distinguish, which are somewhat similar to small mounds. And it is likely that the adaptation is to avoid damage while fighting with an opponent. It is also characterized by short, strong legs, along with long claws on the front feet for digging and defense. The honey badger's hair is thick and coarse, and mostly black, with a wide whitish-gray stripe running across its back from the top of the head to the tip. The tail. The honey badger also has a gland at the base of its tail that stores a stinky liquid just as strong as that of a skunk. The smelly liquid is used to mark territory. But if the honey badger is frightened or threatened, it drops a stink bomb instead of spraying the scent as its close relative does. Skunk. The honey badger's smell doesn't last as long as the skunk's smell, but it still gets its leave me alone message across. The honey badger's skin comes to be the other element of defense. This very loose skin appearance underlies fatty tissue. In fact, this skin makes it move freely. The skin on its neck is about 6 mm (0.24 in) thick, and the skin on its back is thick and tough. It is considered the shield against bites and attacks by predators. Honey badgers have short but strong legs and 5 toes on each foot, each toe having a sharp, hard claw. And the size of the honey badger reaches 23 to 28 cm, 9 to 11 inches, in adult species. And in some other species it ranges between 55 to 77 cm, 22 to 30 inches long without the tail, which reaches a length of 12 to 30 cm. And the male badger honeys weigh from 9–16 kilograms, 20 to 35 lb. And females from 5–10 kilograms, 11 to 22 lb. Females are smaller than males in terms of size and weight. Honey badger diet. The honey badger is not really picky about food. And there is a distinctive feature of this animal that distinguishes it from other animals that fall under the family of weasels, which is that it hunts during the day, but in places with a high population. It prefers scavenging and collecting waste at night. Besides, the honey badger searches for beehives more than once. But it also loves meat. So it eats frogs, rodents, lizards, snakes, birds or even insects, and sometimes it eats eggs. The honey badger can also try to eat plants, whether fruits, and vegetables. And the honey badger can kill a large and dangerous snake. For example, it can kill a cobra and even a black mamba. In zoos, the honey badger eats a commercial diet of carnivores, mice, mealworms, and crickets, and gets a bone to chew on once a week and is served with some fruit, mostly as an enrichment on hot days. Always appreciated. Honey badger behavior. Honey badgers are usually lonely all year round, except for the month of May when there is a breeding season. And at that time, everyone can see honey badgers in pairs. And with their long claws, honey badgers dig burrows up to 9 feet 3 meters long and deep to 5 feet 1.5 meters, ending in a single tunnel in the usually bare room where honey badgers rest. But when it comes to building a home, the honey badger isn't afraid to use what is already available to it, from rocky crevices and holes under tree roots, old termite mounds, or other wildlife such as boar dens, burrows made by Cape foxes, and burrowed foxes. Bat-eared and yellow mongooses are also preyed on by the honey badger. As a nocturnal creature, the honey badger is very secretive and difficult to monitor in its native habitat. It sleeps most of the day, curling up in a ball to protect its face and belly. Solitary honey badgers often maintain loose home ranges that often overlap, and they may congregate in favored foraging areas, where they sniff each other and roll for a scent that marks the territory. Honey badgers can grunt, squeak, hiss, and moan, and are known for their deep and ominous growls. Honey badger breeding. A female honey badger is left to give birth and raise her young. And the pregnant mother digs the nursery room and lines it with grass for her young. And after a gestation period of 7 to 10 weeks, one cub is born, rarely two. And the newborn is bald with pink skin and closed eyes, and in the first week of life begins its skin changes from pink to gray. And after 2 weeks, fine gray hairs begin to grow in. And the familiar white stripe appears about a week after that. By the time the cub approaches 3 months of age, it has become a perfect miniature model for its parents, and reaches adult size at 6 months of age. Honey badger. Is honey badger threatened with extinction? The honey badger is considered endangered in parts of its range, largely due to human encroachment, which reduces its food supply. The honey badger's sweet tooth does not make it popular with people who keep bees for their honey. Some beekeepers will kill any honey badgers they see to protect their hives, however, since honey badgers cannot jump. Many beekeepers have found that simply securing their hives a few feet off the ground discourages honey badgers from climbing up to reach them and keeps the bees and their honey safe. From beekeepers in Africa now has badger-friendly honey, it's a sweet deal for everyone. Honey badger faces predatory lions. The honey badger's violent nature indicates its ability to persist and endure. But it is also one of the animals that defends itself in a brutal way. So it can attack almost every living creature, and when it is attacked by a larger opponent, even the lion, it does not resort to fleeing, but rather it can defend himself. Even bees are not able to sting it, as it is a very brave animal, so that it can attack horses, cattle, and even African buffaloes if it enters its hole. This combination of the wonderful innate defensive and offensive capabilities in the honey badger has led to the fact that it seems to fear only a few things. Its aggressiveness has also led to a few predators, which usually try to eat something the size of a honey badger, but instead of so by choosing to avoid the animal. Fascinating facts about honey badgers. 1. Honey badgers are solitary weasels. Honey badgers are from the same family as weasels. And honey badgers are somewhat solitary. And according to some sources, they only meet for mating. However, some ancient studies indicate that animals can live in pairs. And honey badgers usually have one offspring, and sometimes two, which is raised only by the female, who takes care of him until he is 1 or 2 years old. 2. The honey badger looks like a skunk. Apart from their physical similarities, the honey badger also has a gland at the base of its tail that contains a stinky liquid. Generally speaking, it is used to mark territory and scare bees away from the hives. But if the animal finds itself in trouble, its knee will twitch and it will be released. What the San Diego Zoo calls the stink bomb, which unlike skunks, is that skunks spray stink. 3. The honey badger is an excellent digger. Using their long claws, honey badgers dig burrows to rest. Sometimes on a daily basis. They will do this anywhere in the ground, in a tree stump, or even in an old termite mound. If necessary, they can dig a hole to hide in a matter of minutes and use their natural scavenging skills to capture prey underground. 4. The honey badger will make a home in another animal's den. If the honey badger isn't in the mood to arrange its own sleep, it isn't shy about making itself at someone else's house. And the critters have been known to rest in pig dens or in the tunnels of foxes, mongooses, or hares. Really, any slit or hole will do for a honey badger. 5. The honey badger is aggressive. The honey badger is cruel, but despite his aggressive reputation, he usually tries to avoid conflict. However, when confronted, he does not back down in those situations. And the honey badger faces his enemy, produces a roar, and stands his hair to the end, and emits a stink bomb, and he is considered. Hyenas, lions, leopards and snakes are all enemies. 6. The honey badger eats almost anything. The honey badger is a carnivore that will go after mammals, birds, reptiles, insects, larvae, plants, fruits, eggs, roots, and of course loves honey and honeybee larvae in it. 7. The honey badger has thick skin. The honey badger can weigh up to 30 pounds and stand up to 11 inches tall at the shoulder. The males are larger than the females. The animal has thick skin, which is also soft enough. If the honey badger gets caught in the mouth of a predator, it can writhe and unravel, or retreat and injure a potential predator with its sharp teeth. The honey badger may even have a resistance to the snake's venom and can sometimes forget the bite. Its thick skin is useful in this way, too. Snakes make up a quarter of its diet. 8. Honey badgers don't actually partner with honey guides to find food. You may have heard that honey badgers and honey guides have a good partnership. And honey guides lead honey badgers into the hive and then eat after the honey badger destroys them. But this seems to be a myth. And there is no convincing evidence that honey guides guide honey badgers at all. 9. The honey badger is a smart animal. Fierce, brave, and feisty animals aren't always the smartest. But honey badgers seem to be the opposite. They have large brains for their body size, and some seem to use tools.